Okay, so here we are again, live Monday morning webinar. Let me just see if everything is working here. Give me a second, please. If you can hear and see me, just send me a message, confirm that. Nope. I don't know why not. Let me just see. It should work, but I can't see me on my Facebook page. Let me just refresh. Yeah, here we go. Okay, great. So let's see. What are we doing this morning? I just want to talk today about franchises, advantages, disadvantages, and of course also how to finance them. So let's see. Alex is back there again. Good morning. Okay, so there are a couple of more viewers coming in. That is great. Let me just start maybe with introducing myself and then we dive into the topic of today. Shivin is there. Yeah. Okay, lovely. So my name is Dagmar Breiling-Marais. I'm the CEO and funding strategist here at Funding Connection. What do we do? We are a private consulting firm and we assist entrepreneurs getting access to funding, raising capital. We have a look, first of all, we have a look at your venture. The harsh reality is not each and every business idea is fundable. Okay, so there are always funds for startups and for expansion available. And we are having a look if you tick the boxes of potential financiers. If we say yes, we can assist you with drafting a business plan, doing the financial forecast for you, and in the next step then of course also assist you with the application process, collecting documentations, filling out forms, and the biggest part is definitely always what Kamal is doing here is checking that all the information in the business plan and the documentation is consistent. Yeah, not that it says I want to apply for 100,000 Rand and you're submitting a quotation for 1 million Rand. Yeah, then they come back and ask, okay, what is happening? Mark is also here. Mark Peddle is one of our consultants in Benoni. So we're always trying at the moment to have everywhere in South Africa funding consultants for you so that you don't need to meet with me via Zoom, but you have the opportunity and the possibility to meet with one of our funding consultants in person in your area. Okay, so, and let's start. Okay, so if you have just to write into the comments where you are from, okay, and obviously you can hear and see me, otherwise somebody would have complained already. That is great news. So, and if you have any questions, just write them in the comments. I will answer them as they come in so that this is a little bit more interactive and I'm not only presenting here something. Okay, so franchises in general, okay, so have a couple of advantages because it's a proven concept. Number one is you have a head office, you have somebody who's holding your hands. They're having systems, processes, checklists all developed already. They know what is working. They of course also know what is not working. They can recommend locations. You can't just go, let's say, to McDonald's and say, I want to open a franchise here. They will determine if they think this is suitable and will be successful and need to approve a location. Patrick, I'm from Brits Northwest. Lovely. Okay, so and that is these advantages. okay, so have somebody who's holding your hand, they have a proven concept. One advantage, what I also realized here in South Africa, so if you specifically in the food, fast food industry, people like to go what they know. And they are obviously trusting a franchise system with food a little bit more than an independent restaurant. In Germany, it would be the other way around. Okay, so Germans would prefer to go to a restaurant what is individual, managed and owned, and doesn't has a standardized menu. Yeah. So, but you always need to see this is where we're operating in. We are here at the moment. We are here in South Africa, so I'm not too sure in which country you may be. And also there you just need to assess the situation and determine what makes sense. That is another advantage, definitely here in South Africa. People trust brands and they prefer to go to a franchise instead of an independent run shop. Okay, so, and on one side, because they have all the checklists, they have the set menu, they have the prices, they have the procedures, how things needs to be done. It is easy for you, if you don't really have too much experience, to jump in, and your chances to become successful are quite high at the end. That's also something what the financiers see. Yeah, that's why they usually like to also finance franchises. But one of the disadvantages is that you are not flexible enough. In most cases, you need to buy your produce and raw materials, depending on which industry you are in, from your franchisor. Yeah, they are buying in bulk. They want to determine the quality. It needs to taste everywhere the same. So one of the advantages, of course, because I remember I worked for 6 weeks in China, and the food was adventurous, let's put it that way. But I know there was a McDonald's, and I think once or twice in these 6 weeks, I just had a nice hamburger with some chips, and because I knew how this tastes, and that was familiar, so I enjoyed that. I usually don't go there, but this was definitely was the highlight of my food there. So, no, that's not true. There were a couple of other things that were really, really delicious, why not? But there was also some things where I thought, okay, so I need something what is really familiar. I had enough of experimenting, but it shows you there's an international standard, everything tastes the same, and that's the same here in South Africa. So it all needs to taste the same. That's why they have also these quality assurances. That's why you need to buy their products, and you can't be flexible. You have a steers or a spurs, and then you can't just say, okay, I want now to do something what is not on the standard menu because people are asking for it. You do not have the flexibility. Yeah. And it can also feel, and I also want to share this, it can also feel a little bit like you're buying yourself a job, because you're paying and you're having still somebody else who is telling you what to do. Yeah. But this somebody else telling you what to do is also something what is increasing your chances to succeed. Yeah. Okay, so let me just see. Alex, what is the normal contribution percentage from myself should I buy a franchise in a retail such as a DIY hardware? Okay, so the normal way is what we're diving now into the financing of it. Okay. Nukuzula, hello, good morning, Maxwell. Lovely, long time no see, Max. So we're coming now to the what is financed by. So you have CFA and NEF. If it is black owned, the business, you want to now buy into one of these franchisors, then you can go to these two. They were, I would say, a year ago, a little bit more open to financing franchises. They are at the moment narrowed it down to really established franchisors. Yeah. So if you want to buy into an existing franchise, you need to have a look if this will be financed, if you need funding, financed by NEF or CFA. They obviously had some problems, and I was also involved in some challenges where the financiers tried to get some information from the franchisor and the franchisor didn't play nicely. Yeah, so you always need the financier want to make sure that you as a franchisee will succeed. That means you need to have all the relevant information from the franchisor. And if they are reluctant, then there is obviously a challenge, and not specifically, there are some established ones that's not a problem, that is an easy way. If you go to, you can have a look, I think both CFA and NEF, they have all their logos there. These are the ones they definitely will finance. And so that's where you just need to have a look at it. If they are too new, then they don't have the success story behind it. And both CFA and NEF obviously experience that they like to finance franchises because like I mentioned before, your chances to succeed are increased. And in some cases, the franchisor is not experienced enough, and that's why there is no advantage. Yeah. In general, so NEF can finance up to 90%. The challenge is with some of the franchisors, they know that the government institutions may not finance them. That's why they say you need to have a bigger portion as own contribution, because keep in mind, if you apply for a loan, there's always an extra pressure of an additional expense of interest rate, yeah, and repayment of the loan. And that can put, specifically in the beginning, pressure onto your business, yeah. And if they know it takes a little bit longer until it really takes off, this can be the breaking point for a business, yeah. So if you want, Alex, if you want to go in retail, such as the DIY hardware, you need to just have a look which one is on the list of the franchise of this CFA and NEF. And they usually, just for you to have an idea, they like the franchises of up to 2 million rand investment. Yeah, it's a smaller amount, not a small amount for us all in person. I totally understand this. But it's a little bit of a smaller amount, so there are big franchises also out there, then they can go higher, but this is usually the ones they prefer. Yeah. Okay, so, and then, my suggestion would be, so if I would be in your shoes and I would say, I want to go into franchise, Alex, we are looking for a mica. Okay, you just need to have a look at it. I'm not too sure if they are on the list, so that is something what you can figure out on your own, or you can contact my team here and we can figure that out for you. Yeah. So, and if you want my advice, I personally would, number one, see if there isn't a franchise out there what you can take over. Okay. Because you are earning usually from day one on money. If you say, oh, I want to open now a new mica in the middle of nowhere, you maybe need to build, you have maybe, if you rent a place, what would be preferably done, then you need to put the shelvings in there, you know, the shop fittings needs to go in there. It takes maybe a couple of weeks, maybe even months, you know, until you start trading. So you have all this pressure of these first months, because although you may not need to repay during this time, but don't think that they say, okay, the repayment of the loan plus the interest rate will then be distributed over the outstanding time frame. Yeah, it's not that you save that money and say, oh, I'm having here 1 year payment holidays, and you're still paying the same amount, the totally same amount back as if you would have had paid already in this 1 year. Yeah, so if this is possible, I know it's not always possible, and you say you want to go into franchise, and if you're not experienced in business, I personally think that is even a good idea, then, because you learn a lot. I worked in a big American corporation, and although it was annoying because they really told you every single step what they knew, what they wanted, but I had 30 staff members, and that really helped, you know. So having all this support, you always knew you had at that time I had a district manager, you know. If there are some challenges, I was able to call him and say, okay, this is happening, this is how I would solve it, is this in order? And then he could say yes or no. Yeah, so I had always a sounding board, and I was always proactive. I saw a challenge, something did go wrong, you know. If you have so many staff, and also me, I made some mistakes. I could call somebody, I could tell them this is what happened, this is how I want to solve it, is this okay, you know. And then you have a sounding board. That is nice with having a franchisor in your corner, where you can ask somebody. You have a head office, they have had most challenges they had before, and they can tell you, okay, this is how other franchisees solved this, and this is how we would recommend to do that. Yeah, so this is the nice part. And if you buy an existing one, you start trading already from day one. You usually should have staff, they know what they are doing, you know. There is usually a reason, and I think that's something what you definitely need to find out. Why does the existing franchisee wants to sell? What is their problem? Yeah. So, and there is one problems they will of course share. There are other problems they may be not sharing. So you just also need to get a nice look inside a business and determine, okay, so there are some challenges with staff. Maybe they don't do what they should do, or that there was not the management was not strong enough to lead the staff, you know. So that can be different reasons, and then you know, okay, this is what I need to do, and then you can dive into it and make sure that you are winning there. Onalena, good day. Do we still have SIFA? I thought they merged to what is called SITFA. I'm not too sure. I know that they merged with CEDA. Yes, but I think they still call it SIFA. They are just under the one name. Let me just have a look here. I'm just having here a look at their website. The website is still SIFA. So, and there's also YTrue SIFA. So I'm not too sure if it's, let me just have a look here. SIFA. Nope, it's not combined. It's still called SIFA, but they merged. Yeah, so everything is under one roof, and I think the CEDA offices are still existing. I'm working closely here with one of the CEDA offices in Durban, and I know that they are merged under one management, and also have one budget, but it's not mixed, the names. Yeah. Okay, so yes, I'm always open, so they just changing things. So let me know if you think there is something not correct. I'll just have a look at it. And okay, Alex, good morning. Another Alex. We also have a lovely Alex here in our team. Okay, so I think that is what I definitely wanted to share with you. The advantages, let me just summarize, please. Advantages are proven system, proven concept, proven brand. Okay, so people recognize it. Your advantage, South Africans like franchises because they know this is the quality I'm getting there at this specific franchise. So, and you have systems, processes in place. So that's definitely an advantage. You have secured your supplier, you know, because you usually need to buy from the franchisor. But all of this can also be negatives. Okay, so that means you need to buy from your franchisor. You need to implement all the systems. There's nothing, no creativity on your side possible, you know. So there is, you can't adjust your, let's say, menu to the needs of the locals in your area. Yeah, so these are all the disadvantages. But you know what, you are maybe not an experienced entrepreneur. I personally think this is a nice way to start. And then you later on can also decide. Either way, you say, you know what, this is working nicely for me. I'm buying a next franchise and the next franchise and the next franchise, and this is a nice way for me to grow my business. Or you say, you know, so I've done this franchise, I learned a lot, thanks very much. I will sell it like it is and use the profits out of this to start my own. Yeah, or you say you had enough of restaurant and you want to go somewhere else. Maybe you want to go into consulting, or you become a supplier, or you know, so you learned a lot and then you can go on. These decisions are never ever decisions for the rest of your life. Yeah, so it is a nice start. It is a quite safe start. And your chances to succeed with the franchisor on your side is quite high. Have a look, please. SIFA, NEF are the best for financing franchises, which one they are able to finance. If you need some advice and consulting here, contact us, and then you just can then we can just have a meeting and just see, answer your questions, and also have a look at what is possible. Bruce, hello, good morning, Bruce. Bruce is one of our funding consultant. He's in Soweto. Okay. He says, we have good relations with the Franchise Association of South Africa. They also want small business. They want to grow into franchises. Oh, I wasn't aware of this, Bruce. Thanks very much for highlighting this. Because if maybe you are a smaller business offering something, maybe you are a hardware store, you know, and now you say, you know what, now we want to do that under the umbrella of, let's say, MICA, you know, so that is obviously also a nice way then, because you have the expertise. The question is for me always, of course, if you're running your own hardware shop successfully, what is the advantage being under the umbrella? You know, so, and then there's nothing only pink, okay? So there's always some advantages and there are some disadvantages each and every life decision you are making, yeah? So, and you personally, it can only be you personally need to weigh it up and say, you know what, I tried this, I'm having big problems, I can't get my stock properly. And then being associated, let's say with MICA, working under their umbrella maybe solves that problem easily for you. Yeah, you see? So, but if you say, hey, I'm getting the things cheaper than if I would buy them from MICA, I'm just it can be every, okay, so every franchise. I'm just using this because Alex talked about this. You know, for my hardware store, I'm good with marketing. I have systems in place. They are working for us. You know, we are growing. We will expand. Um, and then there's the question, okay, you see, you weigh it up and decide what makes sense to you. Yeah. I know that I had some meetings with the Franchise Association over Zoom, but I also know that Bruce from Soweto had some friends. Okay, let's try again. Bruce from Soweto had some meetings with the Franchise Association in person. Okay, so that's definitely also one of the starting points if you want to look at it and see what you want to do. Always keep in mind, you still, even if you're going to franchise, you still need to have some sort of expertise and experience. Yeah? Otherwise, this is really, really hard. But usually what happens, that's also what I still remember from Germany, you know, so you are, let's say, you are an exceptional plumber, you know, so you know how to do all these things. You say, okay, my boss is going on my nerves. I want to do that on my own. Out of a sudden, you're not a plumber only anymore. You are a business owner. Okay, there are a couple of things you need now to do additionally to your task you have done on a daily basis before. And that's where lots of people then get stuck, you know, so they are working really day in, day out, and they're forgetting. I know that from Germany. I worked there at an economic development corporation, and some of these artisans, they just, at the end of the month, and they sent out all the invoices, and they were cash strapped because they didn't manage their cash flow. Usually you finish the job, you need to send the invoice. Okay, because nobody pays an invoice immediately when they receive it. Yeah. So, and that is also something what we taught them and said, okay, this is what we need to do to be able to manage your cash flow, to have at the end of the month all the money for paying your staff, your rent, and all the other expenses what you may need. Yeah. So that's the same thing here. You are maybe good at managing your restaurant because you worked as a restaurant manager, but you don't know what is behind the scenes all to be done, and the franchisor is definitely able to assist you there because they have all checklists and systems and everything in place. Alex, please need know more about Build It Hardware franchise. What needed as small business to be partnership with them? Okay, Alex, I'm not too sure. Okay, so that is definitely something I recommend. You need to contact Build It. Okay, see, I'm not even too sure if they do franchises or not, and then just talk to them and figure that out. You can go to their website. You can also maybe visit one of their shops and ask them, is this a franchise? Speak to the owner and say, hey, you are interested, you also want to become a franchisee, and then you can ask them some questions. And in most cases, let me tell you that the franchisees or other businesses are helpful. Okay, in some cases, of course, they say, what do you want? And you want to steal something from me, and I will not share any information with you. You always have these people, you know that, so, but in most cases, you definitely will be, there is somebody who's able to advise you. Even if they say, here, this is the person you need to talk to, this is the district manager, who can advise you, this is what you need. Yeah. So, and that's also part of your job. We are there to hold your hands, but we are no babysitter. Yeah. So because it's your business, you are the entrepreneur, you need to be able to overcome all challenges later on when you're running your business, and I promise you there will be challenges. So let's start learning how to do these things already now. Yeah. And if you have then some information, Alex, as soon as you have them, set up a meeting with any of us, and then we just can dive into it a little bit deeper, see if it is fundable from NEF or CIFA, and then also have a look, what do you need? Yeah, because even if you buy an existing franchise, you still need a business plan. We need to have a look at the existing franchise, but of course also look at you as the new owner. What is your expertise? How will you run it? How many staff do you need? With the financial forecast, with the additional repayment of the loan, of course, now, because maybe the old franchise was financed with equity, or they repaid the loan already, so that you also see in detail how the performance of your franchise will be. Okay, so thanks very much for all your interesting questions. Let me just fundingconnection.coza/contact. Okay, so I just share here the website with you, because I know in some cases people will watch this after the live, so that you are still able to ask us questions. My team, Kamal and Cherise, are there. They will guide you and are able then to tell you, okay, this is your next step. And in some cases it means go there. Okay, so then we recommend you to go to let's say NYDA or to a CEDA office or CIFA office. Okay, and then, or we can say, okay, what are the next steps for you? It would be maybe a business plan, and then our support to raise the capital. Greg, what was the two organizations mentioned that does funding? Okay, so these two do funding for franchisees, that is NEF and the CIFA offices. Yeah, you just need to make sure, of course, that you meet all their criteria. I'm not saying you can go there and they just give you 2 million rand because I told you that they will finance franchises. No, it's not working like this. You will need to have a business plan, and you need to tick their boxes. Yeah. Is there a franchise for property management? No, Zola, I don't know. You would need to Google it, number one, or ask the Franchise Association South Africa, yes, if they know of somebody. Yeah. Okay, lovely. I wish you all an unbelievable, successful new week. And we will definitely, I hope you will see us. Let me just have a look at it, at my calendar. I think I will be able still to do this. You may know that my husband is in Japan training with his master. He told me just before this meeting his body is sore. I can imagine. He's back next week, Monday, but I think he's only arriving in Durban in the afternoon. So if this is happening like I think it is, there will be definitely next week also a Monday morning webinar. If there's anything you would like, a specific topic you would like me to cover, just put them in the comments below, okay? And then my team will inform me and say, Dagmar, this is what your followers would like to discuss with you, and then we will definitely do that. Yeah? Okay. Take good care. Enjoy your week. Hopefully it will be a successful one, and we will definitely see us soon, and then maybe we see us even a little bit earlier if you book some consultations with me. Okay. Take good care. Bye.